Hey guys, welcome to Homesteading Through Our Eyes, and welcome to day 4 of our question edition. Today we're going to specifically talk about yurt questions. We had a bunch of you write in and ask about the yurt itself, so we're going to focus on yurt questions today. First and foremost, why did you choose a yurt? This question comes from Robert Van Bushicum right here in New York. Thank you, Robert, for the question. Why did we choose a yurt? We chose a yurt after quite a lengthy research period of different housing, from container houses to log cabins to earth homes, to a regular home, to mobile homes, to RVs, to campers, to buses, to a lot of things. We chose the yurt because it's movable and it wasn't too expensive, and we just really enjoyed actually staying in one once we tried it camping one time. We love the feel of being in nature, but at the same time being safe from the elements or whatever you need to be safe from. Nothing really. But we loved it, and we went with that because it was going to be new. We kind of didn't like the idea of not knowing where the shipping containers might have been, and we also didn't like the idea of being inside of a box again. We liked the round studio-ish space of a yurt, and those are some of the reasons I chose a yurt. So thank you for that question. Why did you choose to add no walls inside the yurt? This question comes from Patricia Carrer, and thank you, Patricia. Why did we choose to add no walls inside the yurt? We went with not finishing the yurt because, one, as I said earlier, we liked that open feel and studio space. When you walk into the yurt and there's no walls or anything in front of you, it really gives a feeling of a giant space. I mean, it is a big space, and we'll get into that in another couple questions. Excuse me. But it's just, it would take up a lot of unnecessary room, and it would cost more money, and it would be more permanent, which would be the largest reason why we chose not to do anything inside the yurt. As you know, we're gardeners, and we were thinking of possibly finding a location that was better suited for all year round gardening, further south, or maybe even another country, who knows. So we went with not finishing because we love the idea of being able to move the yurt whenever we wanted to. And if you put walls in, it's definitely, I mean, you probably could get away with setting it up in order not to put walls in, but it would probably be pretty tough. Another large reason is moisture once you actually put walls in. We've did a ton of research on yurts and yurt walls, and they always said that moisture was a problem. So we knew that that was our number one thing that we had to look out for, and we actually found that a lot of people who tried to put walls in and extra things in ended up running into mold issues. So the moisture would be trapped between the wall of the yurt and the wall that you put in, and the proper air wasn't being introduced between that space, and the moisture built up and it got stagnant, and a lot of mold can occur in yurts because of the moisture content. No walls inside the yurt. There you go. Another question we have here from Jim Laughley. Is the 30-foot yurt big enough for the four of you? The yurt is definitely big enough for the four of us. In a couple years, will it be big enough for the four of us? Probably not. Tyler is hitting the teenage years, and he's getting bigger, and obviously requires more space, more privacy. As you get older, you definitely need your own space sometimes, and the 30-foot yurt will probably not contain us in the next couple years, but not a big deal. We're thinking about putting in an even smaller yurt, and maybe even building it ourselves and just getting the outer canvas. Flowing River is just coming up, and the girls always think that we have food, so they're being a little noisy right now. But anyway, back to the 30-foot yurt. Big enough for all of us? Yes, definitely. Especially if you have two of you, or two of you with a child, or two or three, or we've even seen someone with 4 kids, I think. And at that age, with the younger kids, it's definitely easy. Whereas in a normal house, if one of the kids needs you, they're 4 rooms away with a flight of stairs in between, and there's a real sense of security for the kids living this close to mom and dad early. We do get a little bit of a break, and we have had a little bit of a break on space as far as the weekends. The kids go to, hey, Flowing River. Got some hay for our bunnies. Where was I? Oh, the kids, they go to their dads on the weekends. So we have just the 2 of us in the 30-foot yurt. And, we have plenty of space, and we're outdoorsy people as it is. I'd say that if you're indoorsy people and don't spend a lot of time outdoors, you're probably not going to look at a yurt anyway. But if you did look at a yurt option, you may run into a little bit of crampedness. We're constantly outside. I could be inside right now taking this video, set up a chair by the chickens because I saw they were over here. Now they're gone, but we love being outside. We do the garden, we go hiking, we do a bunch of stuff. So the yurt isn't really home base. Kind of, our property is home base. The yurt is kind of where we eat, sleep, spend a little bit of relaxation time. Not necessarily are we stuck in there all the time. But even if you are, winter comes around and we are, in there quite a bit, especially the first winter we went through. And, we didn't get cramped up or cabin fever or whatever. It's kind of really nice having everything at arm's reach as far as books, writing, art, music. At any time you can walk 10 feet and do anything you want. And during the winter, when you do feel cramped, you just find those indoor things to do. And there we go. 30-foot yurt is definitely big enough for all of us. If you don't think it's big enough for you, there are ways to connect them. I saw people, we visited them personally, and they had 3 of them connected. The only problem with connecting them is the heat doesn't really travel through the yurts well when you have them connected. So if you plan on going little to no electricity, it may be tough. This horsefly is going to get it. I don't normally kill things, but horseflies, mosquitoes, every once in a while. Let's see if we have any more questions here. This question comes to us from Travis. Thanks, Travis. What are some of the cons of yurt living? The only con I can think of that is actually worth talking about would be the heat in the summertime. The heat is quite unbearable if you don't have any shade or trees close enough to keep shade on the yurt. Once the heat hits the yurt, it actually bumps the temperature inside the yurt up 4 to 5 degrees. And last year, when we weren't too used to that, we actually had to bail 2 or 3 times because of the heat. Now, with electricity, you probably wouldn't be too bad because you could run some sort of AC unit, or if you had some sort of solar panel set up, you might be able to run an AC unit. We were actually considering that this spring, and ended up saying that we could do it. And now, actually, just today, it was about, I think we saw 96 in there, and Flowing River said we might have to do something about that, and end up breaking down and doing some solar panels and doing a battery bank and hooking up to some sort of AC. But it might not be a bad thing because we might be able to use that same bank for some sort of backup heater source in the wintertime and be able to get away from the wood stove longer than 4 hours at a time. Thank you for that question, Travis. That wraps us up for the yurt session, day 4 question asking. Keep them coming. This has been great. It's been making us think of a lot of ideas about what to do and how to do it. And a lot of you have been writing in and emailing us with great questions. Keep them coming, as I said. Today we talked about yurts, but if we get another couple similar questions, maybe we'll focus on that tomorrow. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned tomorrow for some more Q&A with us, and we'll check you then. Peace.